Hi everyone. So this is, we hope it's going to be a short video on entrepreneurs, because we had a very interesting question from a client of mine, and Chris is here with me today.
Hello,
Chris,
everyone.
hi. Would you just like to run through the question?
Alrighty, so the question is, why is there such a push to have us all become entrepreneurs?
Okay, yeah. Why is there such a push to have us all become entrepreneurs? I assume this comes out of the name for the course that we're doing, called Human Design for Innovators and Entrepreneurs. And the question basically says, why is there such a push for us all to become entrepreneurs? It's not just in the name, but also there's so much emphasis on getting out there and becoming an entrepreneur in the business world, particularly in the small business world. And so I thought I'd address this as far as the course is concerned, but also as far as what is it to be an entrepreneur in the modern world, and look at it from a human design perspective. So I went right back to basics and I looked up on the internet what it is to be an entrepreneur. And I found a really good explanation of it, which I'll share with you. And it's very practical. It's based on some research done by an economist in the last century as well. So the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who exercises initiative by organising a venture to take benefit of an opportunity, and as the decision maker decides what, how, and how much of a good or service will be produced. Now, again, that's a technical definition. It's like, you know, they exercise initiative, organising, da-da-da-da. And it said things like they supply the risk capital rather than take it from investors. They're risk takers, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I had a look at this research done by Joseph Schrumpter in in the last century. And he said entrepreneurs are not necessarily motivated by profit, but do regard it as a standard for measuring their achievement or success. And I'm still going, yeah, definition. And apparently he did a lot of research and he came up with these things that were common to all entrepreneurs. And this I really like because it's really practical. He discovered that entrepreneurs greatly value self-reliance. In other words, they're people that value doing things themselves, relying on themselves. They strive for distinction through excellence. In other words, they're not people who just, like a franchisee, you know, they just do somebody else's thing. They're always striving to stand out, be distinctive through bringing a level of excellence to what they do. He discovered that they're highly optimistic people. And he said basically this is because otherwise nothing they wanted to do would be undertaken. They have to be highly optimistic because they're often bringing a new level of excellence or relying on themselves for, you know, the ideas or the initiative to do something. And finally, he said they always favour challenges of medium risk. They don't want things that are too easy, but they don't want something that's going to end up in, you know, just ruining them. You know, they like medium risk. They're willing to take a risk, but it's not going to be a crazy risk that's going to end up in everything going down the tubes, nor do they really thrive in a very low risk safe situation. Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring to what I meant by entrepreneur in Human Design for Innovators and Entrepreneurs. But I also want to bring it to the table as what entrepreneurs are now becoming, in the world that we're living in, which is in the flux of incredible change and moving into a new world. So an entrepreneur today, I really like what he discovered. They like to be self-reliant. They like to strive for distinction through excellence. They like to bring excellence to what they do. They're highly optimistic people. They've got a positive view of what can be achieved with what they're doing. They've got a positive view of the future. And they love challenges, but not crazy ones nor lack of challenge. They like being in that medium risk. They'll push the envelope, but they're not going to try and destroy the envelope. You know, nor are they going to try and hang in and never push the envelope. They like to push it. They like to stretch it. They like to reach out and become, you know, make things bigger and better, and renew them through bringing in excellence. And they rely on themselves and their positivity, their optimism. Now, when I named this human design for innovators and entrepreneurs, one, I looked at myself, and according to certain distinctions of the brand that would best suit me, what my brand is and who I am as a person, I'm a trendsetter. And that's someone who's innovative, but also innovative shooting for excellence. They bring in innovations, but they want to do it at the highest level. And so I thought, if I'm going to be doing a course on human design, well, I need to take responsibility for who I am, because that's going to colour the course. So I put in innovators, because I'm an innovator, and entrepreneurs, because they're people out on the cutting edge. And I wanted to present human design as something that's on the cutting edge. And I wanted it for people who weren't just going to settle for the way human design has been taught up until now. Now, again, I'm not criticising that in the sense of saying that was bad. What I am saying is it can become more, and it become more relatable. It can become simpler, yet still contain the essence and the potency of what Ra taught. And I want human design to enrich the life of people who are on the cutting edge, who are making a difference in the world today. I want to present human design to those people, because I'm very interested myself in being on the cutting edge, innovating, and taking things to a new level of excellence. And I think fundamentally that's what people in the world are really demanding now. You know, it's an approach whose time has come in the world. So I didn't want to just limit it to the idea of an entrepreneur being someone who gets out there and makes a lot of money because they've got lots of new age techniques, or they're just a go-getter and someone who's out there to make a big buck, you know, and get rich and take care of their family, whatever the motivation is. I didn't want it just to be limited to that definition of an entrepreneur. I wanted it to really reach out and say entrepreneurs are what are needed in the world today. People who rely on themselves, use their strategy and inner authority, who respect themselves as individuals, you know, really understand I'm a unique individual, I matter because no one has ever had my perspective in this world. And when I share it with other people, when I share my unique perspective and my unique talents with the world, or I bring them to the table in a business or in a family or in a relationship, then that unique perspective is going to matter. So I'm relying on the power within me, on the authority within me. And entrepreneurs greatly value that self-reliance. I'm going to look at human design, or I'm going to take in anything that I do in my life to add a level of excellence to the way I live my life in everything that I do, to my relationships, to the way I bring children up. You know, I'm not trying to be some concept of perfect, some concept of being perfect, but I'm looking for a level of excellence. And I want that to stand out. I want that to shine about the way I live my life. I'm going to be optimistic about the future. Look, human design is not for people who see the end of the world. It just isn't, right? People who want to go back to the 13th century and live, you know, on an old way of living. Human design is about how we are evolving as human beings and what we are becoming, and how to make decisions as the human beings that we are now and the human beings that we're becoming. How to make decisions in a way that's totally up to date and works for you as an individual. How to make decisions elegantly. How to make decisions that really work. And human design is about emerging as an individual and fully embracing your individuality and moving through the world so you find where you truly belong versus where you may think you belong because of your upbringing or ideas that you picked up from other people. You can fully be an individual when you're where you belong, because the people around you want to be the best person you can be, the individual, the unique individual that you are. They need you to be that way. So there's no conflict. There's no need for anarchy. This is about really turning up as who you truly are and realizing that when you do that, you're contributing to an incredibly positive future, where a lot of the struggle and the strife and the drama and the collateral damage of the past is going to be overcome and bypassed, because we've discovered a much more effective way of living our lives, making decisions, turning up as an individual and relating to other people by respecting their individuality and still working together. Now, is this a challenge? Yes. Is it a ruinous challenge that's going to send us down the tubes? Well, according to some people, yes, but in fact, no. If we just keep doing what we've been doing in the past, that's much more a ruinous risk. Or if it's a challenge that's too easy, like let's just stay with what we know, the world is growing and changing too fast for that. You know, an entrepreneur is someone who recognizes we're going to have to take risks. So in order to do that, we need to make wise decisions. We need to draw upon the skills we really have rather than the ones we've learned to pretend we have. We need to be coming from our true authority and our true power and our true skills and arts as an individual. That reduces big risk to medium risk, but it is a risk because you have to have the courage to live as yourself. And that's what an entrepreneur does. That's what the whole spirit behind being an entrepreneur is about. Apart from the original definition I read you know, who exercises initiative and organizes a venture, but I really wanted to stretch the idea of entrepreneur into the future as someone who's on the cutting edge, someone who values themselves, who's going for excellence in an optimistic way and taking a risk, but it's a very deliberate and conscious risk. And they're bringing in strategies, they're drawing upon authority, and they're using their mind and their body to the best of their capabilities. They're allowing their mind to come up with great ideas and possibilities. They're allowing their body and the wisdom within the body to take responsibility for making decisions. They're going to be the best they can truly be. And they're going to make decisions when the timing's right and the energy's right. They'll know when they make decisions that they're being told that this is, you've got the energy and the timing's right. Now that is someone who's taking a risk, but it's a conscious, deliberate risk. It's a medium risk. It's not a stupid risk, nor is it someone who's afraid of stepping out there and meeting a challenge. And that's what I believe an entrepreneur is. And that's why I love what human design brings to it. That's why I said this course is for innovators and entrepreneurs, because this course has been created in a way that really addresses the needs of each individual to learn their design through their experience and to learn it in a way that works for them. It takes someone who values their own experience, is looking to have an excellent experience and have an excellent outcome from the course that they do, who's optimistic and positive about what they're doing, and is willing to let experience be their teacher, let their life be their teacher. So if you're on the cutting edge of raising your children, you can call yourself an entrepreneur. If you're on the cutting edge of artwork, if you're drawing upon your unique perspective and awareness of life to create your art, if you're valuing that and looking for excellence and have a great and can see a great outcome for this, for your art, and you're willing to face the challenge of putting it out there, then you're an entrepreneur. So I want to, this world needs entrepreneurs now. I want to work with entrepreneurs now. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an innovator for sure. But I want to work with those people who are ready to make a difference, because they will then set the stage for everyone else to come in and really learn how to live a life from their own authority, respecting who they are as an individual. And that is the foundation of the future becoming and reaching its full potential. Because once we start doing that, we'll discover what human beings are really capable of. In fact, you'll discover what you're really capable of. So does that make sense, Carissa, what I've been saying so far?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Anything you want to comment on that, or will we?
Yeah, it's quite expansive.
Yeah, it is. See, being an entrepreneur is not someone who contracts, right? Plays it safe. An entrepreneur is someone who expands. They take a risk, they believe in themselves, they're optimistic, and they're going for excellence, something better. So they're expansive. And this world, our consciousness, our economy, our technology, our psychology, our ability to work together, what we're capable of doing in the world, and even once we go into space and other things like that, it's all expanding. And it's expanding incredibly rapidly now. And entrepreneurs are by nature expansive people. They know innovators and entrepreneurs working together. Some people are innovators and entrepreneurs. Some people are innovators, some people are entrepreneurs. Any combination of those coming together is going to add value to the world. Anytime you do that in any aspect of your life, money or not money, raising a child, developing a better shopping strategy, becoming a greater artist, developing a business, you know, going out and looking truly, opening yourself up to a relationship that really works for you, not the one you think works for you, not the one all the books have told you you should be looking for, but opening yourself up to a relationship that's truly worthy of you and that you're really ready for, and the other person, it's a real win-win between the two of you. You know, when you stop trying to do it the way all the, you know, top guys do it and end up failing over and over again to make it work the way other people do, because it doesn't work for you that way. And then you open yourself up, you expand your possibilities and allow a relationship to come to you that truly, you know, where you and the other person are different and yet you're relating, and you allow the relating to develop a relationship that's unique to the two of you. When you seek a community that truly supports you being a unique individual, not fitting into their parameters, but creating parameters that allow people to expand and grow as individuals. You know, where we learn to work together while being different and learn the skills. I mean, it's fine to do it in theory, but when you do it in practice, there's so many new skills there to be discovered. All of this growth, the whole world at the moment is in an entrepreneurial phase of growth and expansion. And when I said human design for innovators and entrepreneurs, they're the people I want to, those people who are at the cutting edge of that. They're the people, I'm one of them, and they're the people I'm willing and happy to work with. That's why there is a big push in the world at the moment for entrepreneurs. Now, in business and in alternative and new age things, that has been hijacked into motivating people to do what other people think they should do. We should all make a lot of money. You haven't proven that you've understood the law of abundance until your bank account is this and you're out there like so-and-so or this person. You know, I'll show you how I did it. You know, to me, no. Maybe I can help you understand how it will work for you. You know, it's not about hijacking this expansion of who we truly are as human beings into doing it the same old way. You know, you really matter if you've got a lot of money, and if you happen to be going through a phase where you're low on cash or you got none, that means you're nobody, or that there's something wrong with you, or you're not spiritual enough, or, you know, you're not worth consideration. Absolute rubbish. You're born a human being. That's all the worth you ever need. You are truly, you have self-worth. You're worthy of being here because you are. You're a human being. I mean, what an incredible gift. You know, and an entrepreneur is someone who's really excited and actively involved with expanding on that in their lives, expanding on that in the work that they do or the products they create. And the message they give behind their business or their work or the way they raise their children or the way they relate to their partner is, you know, I matter, you matter. I'm optimistic about the future. You know, this is the message they give really clearly. You know, excellence is what life is about. You're meant to have an excellent life. I'm having an excellent life. Hopefully that's inspiring you as well. And seriously, I reach out to those people I love and care for, and anything I can do that they're open to, that can increase their level of excellence in their life, it's so inspiring and so fulfilling for me to do that for a person. Am I willing to take risks? Yeah, not stupid ones. Not hide in what's safe. So much in my life, in my relationship over the last couple of months, It's been stepping up and taking that not taking stupid risks and not holding back and playing it safe, but taking a risk to love a little bit more, to give a little bit more. That's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what it is to truly be an entrepreneur. And human design is so made for people like that. You need to be, in my opinion, in my experience of living my human design, you need to be a person who's got a bit of that entrepreneurial spirit to even get into human design. Because you're going to become more self-reliant. You're certainly going to discover new levels of excellence in your life. You're going to need to be optimistic. You know, when you give over decision-making to your strategy and inner authority, it's like, whoa, you know, and you test this and you take medium risks. You test it in your real life. You don't throw everything away and join the human design religion. And you certainly can't hide back and study human design with your mind and not actually get out there and live it. It just doesn't work. So that the drive behind whatever people are doing out there in the world, the drive for people to tap into that entrepreneurial spirit within themselves is very real at the moment. And important for each person to do that as much as is appropriate for them. So that's what's behind this drive. However it's showing up in the world, there's a real luminous intent behind it, a real positive intent behind it. It's time for people to step up. When you go and vote in an election, do it with an entrepreneurial spirit. Make your own decisions. Look for the candidates with excellence. Be optimistic that even if the range of candidates doesn't seem that great, that your impact of voting or going and doing something about it is going to make a difference. And take a risk. Go for the candidate you see has a vision, but is down to earth as well. Someone who you see, it's a risk, but it's a risk worth taking. And that's what I see happening in the world at the moment. There's more of that coming to the surface in the general population, and that will get stronger and stronger and stronger. Whether you're a very down-to-earth practical person, very conservative, or very out there and, you know, alternative, or anything in between, that spirit will need to move through everything. And that's why there's such a buzz about entrepreneurs at the moment, because we need them. The world needs them. We need that spirit to be alive because of where we're going and what we're becoming. Okay, I think I've said enough for the moment, unless you've got anything else to add to that, Carissa?
Not anything to add to that. I have a general entrepreneurial question, but maybe we could save that one for another day.
Okay. We'll leave it at that?
Yep.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye, everyone.